Okay, so today's topic, I'm going to show how you can create the register where a user can register his account and also create his account, also put his password, create his account, and then you also have the dashboard, and the user can be able to log out because this user is registered, able to log out and then log into that account again. Okay, now so I'll start by installing the Laravel application. So say composer creates hyphen projects Laravel slash Laravel. I'm going to name this authentication. All right, so this is going to take some time. Okay, so we have the Laravel application installed. So I'm going to cd into it. That is cd authentication and code dot. So I want to open it on my code editor, VS Code. Okay, so we have it open here. I'm zoom in. Okay, yeah, I think this is close enough. So now I'm going to create the register file, the login file, and also the app.play.php, which is going to hold the links. It's more of a file that is going to mount all the sections, which is the register and login, and I'm also going to create the controllers for the login and register too. So let's start by creating those files. So let's alt and name this alt, then the layout, which is going to hold the app.blade.php. So I'm going to create the register here. Let's go login.blade.php and register.blade.php. Okay, so I have those files ready. So let me run this project. PHP artisan serve. Okay, then I'm going to go to my browser. Got it. Then local host 8000. So now I have my Laravel application running. So now I'm going to create the controllers for the individual files, which is the login and the register. So I write PHP artisan make controller alt slash login controller. So I'm also going to do for the register controller too. So these controllers are going to hold the logics for the login and register. So this is what will log in the user if the validation is completed. It validates the user's details and it's completed and everything is passed, then it will log in the user. While the register, if the validation is correct and everything, it will register the user. So let's go here and check my app, HTTP controller, then the alt. See the alt. Then you have your login controller and your register controller. So now we're going to route them, give them that specific route. So let's close this. And then alright, route gets there's slash login, then login controller class, and I'm going to give this an index as the method. So it's more like it's going to this controller and it's going to call this method index. I've not created the method. I'm going to do that now. So let's give this a name. I'm going to name this login, right? We'll have to also import this class. So this is it here. Then let's just duplicate this because of time. And to register. Now call this one register too. Also going to change this to register. And we'll import this register class. So we have those two classes imported here. So I'm going to return those individual files. So when someone goes to this route, he calls this callback, this closure here, and then to return the view. So let's go to the controller, HTTP controllers, then alt, then login. Say public function, function index, close this, and then we're going to return the view, which is the alt dot login. Or I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to pass it here, and that is register. So we have it here. So now what I want to do now is to import the template, the login template. So let's refresh to know whether we don't have any error. So everything is here, it's fine. You can go to this route, but the page is empty because we don't have anything there. So now let's go to this. So this is the template I want to use. Let's call, okay. Click this, and then we need these assets. Let's copy this, okay. We need the assets. So let's go to our public, we'll copy these assets. Now I call it assets. Assets. So we'll just copy these assets, then we'll paste here. So we have the CSS, the fonts, and the images. Then just let's put it here. And then we're going to look for the login. Let's start with login. Copy the login and paste here. So I need all this. So I'll paste this in the layout.app. Then I'm going to copy this section here. So this section is for the login. I just need to copy it here, and then I'll say extends app.layouts, because this section for the login, we're going to mount it. It's going to be mounted in this app. So let's give this one contents. So why I separated the file is, instead of me having all these links and scripts, all of them in individual files, like for the login have its own, the register have its own too. Instead of me to like copy everything and put them in their individual files, I can just put it here in my app.blade.php, and I'm going to mount each section that is for the login and register. I'm going to mount them here. So it's more of best practices. So I'm going to copy. I've done for the login. I want to do for the register. So let's remove this, and I'll copy for the register. And what I only need now for the register is just this. So I'll copy this, and I go to the register and write at extends app.layouts, alt layouts dot app. Then I'll give its own section and write content here. It doesn't really matter. This can be anything. It can be content, it can be field, it can be anything you can give it. But the main thing is that it must match what is here. That is just it. For it to be mounted, so it must match it. That's it. So then you can just close this. I think we're done with this for now. So let's just open it here and let's refresh. See, everything is good, no error. Let's go to the login. And you can see everything is here. So one thing we need to do in this app.blade, we need to add this to. It's very important because since it's a single page now, it's not really going to affect you. But once you have an extra slash in your link, it's going to not find this link. So we just need to pass it here. Also copy this, paste it here, and here, here. So where you see your JavaScript, your CSS, you need to add this here. Let's refresh. Still the same thing. So let's go to register. Let's see, register. Everything is good. So now for the validation. So let's remove this account sign up. Let's remove this, and we're going to run PHP artisan. But before we run that PHP artisan, let's give this our database a name. And besides, I'm using XAMPP. My XAMPP is already running, so you need to run your XAMPP before you can run the migration. So I'm going to give this database name authentication, and then I'm going to run PHP artisan serve. Sorry, not PHP artisan serve. PHP artisan migrate, not serve. I'm already running serve somewhere, so it's migrate it. I want to migrate those tables. Okay, saying nothing to migrate, nothing to migrate. So I think the table already exists. I think I was using it for something. So I think the table already exists like that. Let's go. Let's go, and we're going to remove that table. So let's say PHP artisan migrates. So yes, I do. So now my table is created. Let me go to my XAMPP and let me refresh. Now you can see my authentication table is here. So I'm good to go now. So now what I need now, let me clear this. What I need now is to create my validation class. That is more of the request class. So I'm going to say, let's close this. I'm going to say PHP artisan make new requests. I'm going to name this alt/register requests. I'm going to press enter, and also going to do for the login request. So those two request classes, they have been created. Let's go to the request. Then you can see your login request and your register request class. So that's good. So let's start. Let's go to, before we come to this request class, before we come here, let's go to the register, and then we go to the form. So now we want to send data. So when the user clicks the button to submit those information, we need a route to send those information to, and it's a post request because we don't want users to be seeing the information in the URL, because if you don't put any request here, it's more like it gets request. So we need to define that the method is a post request, not a get. So let's define that here. That is post. That is post. And then we also need to give this a route. I've not created the route. I'll do that now. So let's say register.user. So now I've not created this route. I'll do this creation now. I'll create the route now. So let's come here and we'll say route dot post. Then we'll give it the name, and the name is the register dot user, and then we're going to give it the endpoint, that is the register/user. So that's it. Controller, sorry, I'll say class. Then we're going to give it the create method. So we don't have this method yet. We're going to create that method now in the register controller. So let's say public function create. Then this create is going to take a request. So now when we send a request to this method, we want to get all those information. So let's just dump it. Say request -o. So yeah, that's what we want. So now let's send this. Let's refresh and send this. So there's something I didn't add, because when I was learning this Laravel, I always had that issue with this stuff. That's the CSRF. So if I send this request without adding that CSRF, the page, it will show page expired. So you can see. So now you need to add that CSRF. It's more like a token. Once you are sending a post or update, you need the CSRF. So I add it there. I'll add it there now, and let's refresh. Okay, go back, refresh, and then you can see. So now you're getting those information. So now we need to define, we need to give all these values their keys, because the data is coming as an array, and we need to give those values like the name, the email, and the password. And we need to give them their keys. So their keys is more like their name now, their name. So let's go here. Let's name equals to name. We'll give name as name. I'm going to also say name, give name as email, and give name as password. So let's send this request again and see. Let's refresh. send the request. Now you can see it's name, email, password. So we have the keys now, but the thing now is that the value is null. No. So now, for us to validate a user's requests, we want to know whether these users are passing data, they are passing their credentials. So you don't want to, when you create your application, a user will just pass null and he will create an account. That is really bad. It's really bad. So we want we want to validate those their information that they are passing, whether it's a string, you need name to be a string, you need email to be a valid email, and you need all those fields to be required before the user can create his account. And one more thing, let me add this, the confirm password, because you don't want the user to just register once and he'll just put something that he'll forget. So you want it to confirm the password. So let's say password confirmation. Just copy this, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here. Let's go back, refresh, and see whether it's there. Okay, we need to change the name. We need to change that name. Where, yeah, let's remove this underscore. Let's refresh, send it, and now we have password confirmation. So that's good to go. So now let's go to the validation section. So now that we can get those details, we need to go to our register request and create our rules. The rules we need to validate that request. So let's start with the name. So what do we need for the name? Let's not make it hard. Let's just say it's required. So we need it. So before the user can create his account, the name must be there. Then the second one now is email. So it's also required. It's also required. And then we also need it to be a valid email address. Just don't want the user to just pass any random numbers there and to submit the data. And then we need it to be unique. So let's say unique. Now we want to define, okay, you want this email to be unique, but where? Which table do you want the data to be unique? So we can have multiple tables, but for this now we have only one table, and that is the user table to store the user's information. So then we just need to write users table, and the column need now is email. That's all. We don't need this one. We don't need that. I'll just close this. I'll say password. Password is also required. I'll create a separate video to do more regex validation. More like you need capital letter, you need small letter, you need all those special characters. I'll do a video for that one. But this is just something simple. So we need this to be required. And then let's close this. And we also need password. And also confirmation. Just need this to be required. But then we also need something in this password. When the user is creating his account, we need the password and the confirm password to be the same before you can create the user's account. So let's just add confirm here. That's it. So when the user is creating his account, it's to confirm whether this password is the same with this. That's all we need. Then we need to add this. We need to also set this to true. It's just saying that is the user authorized to send a request here to that route that we defined? Is the user authorized to send a request? So we need to say that this is true. But maybe we are creating um, an admin section that is only this admin that have this role. should be authorized to send a request there. Then you can set this to false, or you can just do the if else statement there and return false. If you return false, that means that user is not authorized to send request there. So but now we need it to be true for all users, all guest users. We need it to be true. So now we need to add this class, the register request. We need to add it in our controller. So just need it here, and that is all. So now let's import this too. Don't forget to import it. Yeah, import those classes. Then what we need now is to display the errors. So if the user send the request and it does not pass those validation, we need to display the error. So let's just say at if, so if errors has name, so if the errors that are coming back, if name is involved, just return the error message for the name. So let's say p, we're going to use p tag, and we're going to log out that error. Let's say error first. So we need the first one, which is name. And let's give this a style of color red. So class, not class, sorry. Let's say style, let's say color, so red. So that's okay. Let's test it out. Let's refresh, send it. Now you can see name field is required because it's empty. So now let's just duplicate this. Let's just duplicate this here and here. So now, and let's put this one is for email. This one is for password, and this one is for password confirmation. Let's refresh and let's send this. Now you can see name field is required, email, password confirmation field is required. Let's try if we put something here. Let's send it. Okay, it went, but it's removed. So now we don't want that if a user he puts in his details for his name, and maybe his name is full, and then he forgot to put something in his email. Maybe the email is not correct, not a valid email, and puts his password and everything. We don't want that if the user sends the request, you just the details will clear. We don't want that because it's really stressful to be putting the details over and over again. So let's go to this. Let's say value is going to be old. That's the old value. Once the request is sent, we need the value to be here. So let's copy this, paste it here. Also do for email, but I don't think it's really good for us to do it for password because a user can make a mistake in his password, and then we don't want it to still be the old one. Let him rewrite that one for some security purposes, and don't want it to be making errors. So then let's try it now fresh. Let's write it again and then send it. You can see the value is still there. So now let's fill all those information. Let's say name, let's say Emeka, let's say email, let's say Emeka at gmail.com, and then password. We're just going to write a random password. Check whether the confirmed password is working. So this password, I think I wrote 1 2 3 4. So, and then this 1 2. Let's send it. Then the password field confirmation does not match. So you need those two. Okay, this didn't save. Let's check it out. Why did it not save? Let's go here and email. Okay, we didn't write the value, so I think it's working now. So let's refresh. Let's say mecca, let's say mecca at gmail.com. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the save. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, so now we can see that the user passed all the validations, and then at this point now, it's to create the user's account because the user is done with the validation. So now it's for me to create the user's account. So let's go to the user's controller. So this data. So we just need to call the user, um, user, then we'll call the user module, and call to create. We're trying to create the user's account, and we just say name is request dash name, and we'll say email as request dash email, and we can also say the password. Now this point we can't just, let's also import this class. At this point we can't just pass the user's information like that, his password like that. It's not really secure, it's not the right thing to do. We need to hash it. So say hash, we'll call the hash facade, then we'll hash this, then request dash password. So I'll show you this now, database. So let's remove this, and now let's remove this. Okay, undefined, let's import this. User module, let's import this. Now we have our user module and we have our hash facade. That's good. So now what we want to do is, if the user is logged in, after creating the user's account, I want to log the user in. So after creating the user's account, I want to log to the user in. So we'll just say alt, I think alt guard attempt. So then I will define as web. So I think this guard, when it's you are using Laravel as an API, I think you need to change this to API, but if it's web, we leave it as web. Then let's put this. Then we'll say, let's say email. If email is equals to email request, if email is equals to request dash email, and password is equals to request dash password, then log the user in, and we're going to redirect, and let's return this, return redirect to dashboard. So now we don't have this page yet. I'm going to create this page, dashboard. This dashboard is for users that are logged in. You can only go to that page when you are logged in. So let's go here. and create pages. Then this pages is going to have layouts, and this layout is also going to have app.blade.php. Then this page is going to have dashboard.blade.php. So now let's go to, like I said, we'll need this back again, this template. So let's cut this out. Let's go to dashboard. Let's check this out. Okay, this one is okay. Let's check this out. Let's close that. Let's come here, paste this here, close this. So now, like what we did before, copy everything here, go to the app.blade, paste it, and remove it, so we don't need that again. So now, what we just need for the dashboard now is, okay, this header will stay here. Mobile navigation, and then we need this. So this section at the top, this section here and here, so add build, add content, and write extend, then not alt, don't write alt, it's pages dot layout dot app, yeah, pages dot layout app, and then write at section content. I'm going to paste this here. So this will be our dashboard. Let's create a controller for that. I think we need a controller for that. So write PHP artisan, make me controller. Let's name this dashboard controller. It's good. So we have our dashboard controller there. Let's close this. This dashboard controller is going to return an index method, public function index. Let's return view. View is just going to be pages dash dashboard. So I have everything settled out here, and then we're going to give it a route. But now this route is going to be guarded by the middleware as route dot group. So route group, and let's say this is going to be alt. Sorry, routes, not middleware. Then say group. Now we're going to say function. So this middleware just filters the request. It just checks whether the request is allowed. The request the user is sending is allowed to go through that route. So now for the alt is if the user is authenticated, then you should be allowed to go through this route. And which route is that? The route is the dashboard. And the route that gets is the dashboard. So say slash dashboard methods dashboard controller class index. Then we'll give it a name. Let's name it dashboard. So let's check whether we're good to go, no errors. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Did we get any error? It's loading. Yeah, invalid route action. So what's the invalid? Okay, yeah, I forgot to put this in an array brackets slash fresh. Now we're good to go. Let's see whether we are able to go to the dashboard. So we're not able to go to the dashboard because the user is not authenticated. That means he needs to register his account or log in. But now let's just do for the register. Once I'm done with the register, we'll do for the login too. So let's say register. My name, my email, password is 12345. My password is 12345, and I create the user's account. It's loading, and you can see user is authenticated and it's logged in. So let's check PHP admin. Let's check whether the user's account is created. Let's come here, open this, and you can see the user's account. Then you can see his password is hashed. So Emeka, you can see it's gmail.com. That's gmail.com. So that's good. So what we need now is to log the user's name here, and then I think we need to create a logout button. So if the user logs out, it will redirect the user to the home page. So let's do the logout now. So let's go to the dashboard. Let's check the name. Okay. It's GEEVA. Yeah. So let's change this to the name. Let's change this to alt dash user dash name. We're going to change this to alt dash user dash name so you can give you the login username. So let's remove this, and then let's refresh. Oh, undefined method alt user. Sorry, we also need to add this. So let's go back here and copy and paste here. We need to add this. We need to add that. Let's refresh. Okay, you can see it here, Emeka. Name change there. Hi, Emeka. This hi login user. I don't know why it didn't change here. Just have to go and locate the navigation. We also need to change this to the users. Let's change this to the users email address. So let's go back there. Let's locate it. Then change this to the users email address. So that it to be name, email. Let's go back. So you can use this. You can see the user's email. So okay, let's we're going to create the logout route now. So let's go. Let's search for sign out. Sign out. Sign out together. Sign capital letter. Sign out. So okay, this is the dashboard. Let's go to app. Okay, the sign out. So this is the sign out. So what we want to do now, we want to change this sign out. We want to call this form. When the user clicks the sign out, I want to call this form. That's the post. Then we're going to create this route. Don't worry about that. We're going to create this route for let's see, call this one dashboard dot sign out. We're going to name that dashboard dot sign out, and that's all. So we're going to say at CSRF. We need that too. Like I said, once we're sending a post request, we need the CSRF. So now what we need to do is to give this an ID of sign out, and we need to call this method. So that is let's say hashtag. We'll leave it as hashtag, but we want to on click. So when someone clicks it, run the event dot prevent defaults dot get element by ID. Which elements do we need? We need this sign out. That's what we want. Then we're going to click submit. That's the endpoint we want to call. So once we click this button, it's going to send the form, a request that is for the sign out. So let's go to the web, and we're going to say slash sign out dot dashboard dot sign out. Let's check. Is that the name we gave it? Let's check. Let's remove this. Let's go to this. Yeah, let's copy this to be sure. Then this is going to be a post request, and this is going to be destroy. So we're going to destroy the session. So when the user is logged in, wants to destroy it. So let's go to the dashboard. That is the controller. We're going to create public function destroy, and this destroy is going to destroy is going to take, it's just going to, I don't think we need to write a request there because we're not passing any information. So we're just going to say alt hyphen logout. That's all. So easy. And we're just going to return redirect to redirect route, and that is login. That's all we need. So once the user calls the logout, it's going to log the user out and redirect him back to the login. So let's refresh, see whether we have any error or error. Let's try one more. Let me change this name to the user's name. So once we log in, you can see the user's name there. Let's go to app, search for, let's change this to alt user name. That's good. Let's refresh. Oh, alt. Let's forget stuff. Sorry about that. Let's refresh. So you can see the user's name. So let's try the logout. Let's click logout. No respond. No respond. No respond. Let's go back to the sign out. So action method posts action routes. Yeah. So I'm calling this, sorry, get element by ID. Get element, get event.defaults. dot get element by ID and submit. Oh, let's try something else. Event default. So let's inspect and see if there's any issue. So cannot read property of undefined gets element by ID. Okay, say it can't read. This is select. Let's try to get elements. Get element by ID. Let me change this. Think JavaScript. Change this to this. The string L. So this has to be single quotes. Get elements by ID. On codes type error cannot be property of undefined. Okay, let's check the name. ID sign out. Oh, I think is it that because of this is down, this is up. I think it's also affected. It's clear. Format documents. So sign out. So this is up now and this is down. Trying to prevent default dot get element by ID. Ooh. Fresh try to still saying can't on click on codes type error cannot read property of undefined reading get. This is something. So sorry, I remember it's more than documents. Yeah, let's try it again. Fresh. Let's try documents. Now it logged the user out. So let's try this again. Let's try to go to dashboard. So the user cannot go to the dashboard. So now let's do the logic for the login. Since we already know what to do, this is going to be quick. So what now we need for the login is to write a function, public function, can name it login if you want. Login is going to take the login request class, login request class. So request, we're going to go to the request class, and what we just need to set this to be true, don't forget. And then we just need email. We just need the email. Just need it to be required. We need the password. We just need the password to be required. So required, and that's all we need there. And then we just need to log the user in. If this information is correct, log the user in, and that's all. And also we need to say alt. Okay, let's import this. Let's import this for the class. So if the email and the password is correct, if the email and password is there, then try to log the user in. So let's, and one thing I didn't mention is also using the try and catch block. So this is essential in case if the database is down or something, you have what to log in, log out for the user instead of just return redirect to route. Define the route there. That is the register with status. Let's give the status as error, and then message. Say message. I'm going to give message as something went wrong. Please try again. That's it. So have that there. I have that there. Split this down. Just leave that straight white. So now that's what we just need. So if the user is not there, if there's an error while creating the user, redirect to the register page and log out this error for us. So now for the login, we try to log this user in, and then let's just try it. Let's go to the login. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Then since we already know the error message, if there's any error message, because I'm just going to do this fast, since you already know how it goes. So we'll say this one is email, this one is email, this one is password, this one is password. So then for the action, I'm just going to say route login user, and I'm going to say the method is the post method. I'm also going to say at CSRF, we're going to add this to CSRF. So it's something, how we did it for the register is still the same thing here. So let's try it out. Let's go to your login page, refresh. So what's the issue? There's no route like this. So let's go to our web and duplicate this. Says slash login slash user. So this one will be login, and this one will be dot user. Let's refresh. Let's be fast. Then let's try it. Send it. There's an issue. Why is the issue? Post method is not supported. Yeah, gets, yeah, you know. Change this to posts. Go back, refresh, send it again. And now we can see this. So let's try to log the user in. Put my name. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Send. Email field is required. Your email. Okay, yeah. Forgot to add. We also need to define those values. You need to give them their keys. So I think these templates, yeah. So name, say name is equals to email. So password is already there, but name is not there. The email is not there. Fresh. Now let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dashboard. User is logged in, and we're good. So let's log out again, and then let's try to go to the dashboard. Sorry, dashboard. So now you can't go to the dashboard again because the user is logged out. So let's log in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll try, and the user is logged in. So that is just the simple login. More of the authentication system if you want to create for any of your application. If you want to log the user in or register the user, it's just simple like this, simple steps. And I'm going for the next video, I'm going to do for the forget password. So if a user forgets his password, we should send email notification to that user, and then he can retrieve his it's going to like cover his password now, or we are just going to do it like the user is going to like change his password. So I think that one is better. We're going to change his password. So thank you for watching, everyone. Please check my next video for the forget password.